He went back in time and turned our world into a totalitarian nightmare.
Hello and welcome to Fluff and Custard. With Picard Season 2 due out soon, there may be some among you who have seen the trailers and wonder who this Q character is. Or perhaps you know, but it's been a while since you've watched the older Treks and you need a little refresher. So just for you, here is all the episodes of Star Trek you need to watch that contain Q.
I am way too old for your bullshit.
Starting with the very first episode of The Next Generation, Encounter at Farpoint introduces us to not only the omnipotent Q being, but also the crew of the Enterprise D as they venture out on their very first mission to Farpoint Station. In this feature-length episode, we see Q interject as he puts the whole of mankind on trial, with the actions of the Enterprise crew deciding the outcome as he challenges them to solve the secret of the mysterious station.
The prisoners will not be harmed until they're found guilty.
If we must play a game, what would we win?
The greatest possible future that you could imagine.
In Hyde and Q, we see Q appear again to the Enterprise crew, but this time with the focus on Riker. He sends the main crew off to play a deadly war game in an effort to test Commander Riker and to tempt him with the powers of a Q.
So you're taking on Riker this time? Excellent. He'll defeat you just as I did.
My purpose is to join you.
To join us as what?
As a member of the crew, willing and able, ready to serve. This ship is already home for the indigent, the unwanted, the unworthy. Why not for a homeless entity?
Instead of being a nuisance, this time in Season 2 episode Q Who, Q endeavours to convince Picard that he would be an invaluable member of the crew.
We'll just have to see how ready you are. Q!
In order to prove this, he propels the ship off to an unexplored area of space to see if they are ready to encounter whatever is out there. And this leads them to their first meeting with the Borg.
Fire the photons.
The Borg ship was not damaged.
I have no powers! Q the ordinary!
Q the liar, Q the misanthrope.
Q the miserable, Q the desperate. What must I do to convince you people?
Die.
In Deja Q, we find Q has been thrown out of the Q continuum and stripped of his powers. Given the choice of becoming any mortal being, he was turned into a human and sent to the Enterprise.
Seems human enough to me.
Unfortunately, Q appears in the middle of a serious mission and finds adjusting to his new mortality very difficult, especially when former tormented species come looking for revenge.
Yes, Captain?
I've just been paid a visit from Q.
Q? Any idea what he's up to?
He wants to do something nice for me.
I'll alert the crew.
Qpid sees Q wanting to repay the debt he feels he owes Captain Picard after the events of Deja Q.
You are simply the most impossible person to buy a gift for.
In his own twisted way, Q attempts to play matchmaker between Picard and returning character and potential love interest Vash.
Was she worth it?
Can we just get this over with?
Are you implying that I'm not worth it?
He transports the crew to Sherwood Forest in the guise of Robin Hood and his merry men, tasking them with rescuing Vash, who is now made Marion, before she is executed.
Well, if he's Little John, that makes you...
I know. Robin Hood.
Sir, I protest. I am not a merry man.
Data, bring down the isolation door. We're gonna have to eject the warp core.
In the 6th season episode True Q, a young medical intern, Amanda, comes aboard the Enterprise. However, she has started to manifest Q-like powers. This doesn't go unnoticed, as Q shows up and tries to take her back to the Q continuum. But when she refuses to go, Q tries to convince Amanda by helping her see what she is capable of.
Why don't we play a little game? I'll hide somewhere on the ship and you find me.
But how do I know how?
Don't worry, Amanda. You can do it.
Tell me, Chief, how well do you know this woman, Vash?
Hardly at all. Only met her that one time she was aboard the Enterprise.
What was she doing there?
Well, sir, Vash and Captain Picard were friends. Close friends, if you follow my meaning.
Briefly moving over to Deep Space Nine and the episode Q-less, a runabout discovers a stranded Vash in the Gamma Quadrant. She has been left there after previously leaving the Enterprise to go exploring the universe with Q. So when Vash arrives on the station, Q turns up to tempt her back into travelling with him again.
Bloody hell.
However, a mysterious power drain on the runabout and the station has the crew wondering what else is Q up to.
I hate to interrupt such a thrilling display of naked avarice, but I thought it was only right of me to warn you that this station is hurtling towards its doom. And it's very unlikely that any of you will survive to enjoy your purchases. I just thought I'd mention it. Please, carry on.
Welcome to the afterlife, Jean-Luc. You're dead.
Back when Picard was at Starfleet Academy, he got into a bit of a scuffle with some Nausicans, leading to him having an artificial heart. So when Picard's heart fails and he dies at the start of Tapestry, Q appears to him in the afterlife and gives him the opportunity to go back in time and change how things played out.
Flowers? Is there a John Luck Picard here?
However, this also changes many other aspects of Picard's life and the path it takes. Is this the life he wants?
I can't live out my days as that person. That man is bereft of passion and imagination. That is not who I am.
Au contraire. He's the person you wanted to be.
What's wrong?
This is not my time. I don't belong here.
What?
The final episode of The Next Generation, All Good Things, has Captain Picard shifting between the past, present and future. Q turns up and tells Picard humanity's existence is under threat, so it's up to Picard to use his time shifting to help piece together what's going on and how to stop it.
Your entire civilization. It all begins right here in this little pond of goo.
But here, the series comes full circle, when Q reminds Picard that the trial never ended and the fate of humanity rests in his hands.
Will, don't leave. We have to stay here and find out what is causing the temporal anomaly.
We can't stay, Captain.
We have to. Everything depends on it. We can't leave now. Please listen to me.
Hello, my name is Q.
Voyager's time to be harassed by Q begins with Death Wish. While investigating a strange comet, Voyager accidentally releases a member of the Q continuum who was being held captive inside.
Now you see why we've locked him up for the last 300 years.
When the actual Q arrives, he explains that the other Q was held there to prevent him from committing suicide. However, the other Q asks Captain Janeway for asylum, so she decides to conduct an asylum hearing for the Q's right to die.
Captain Janeway, I demand asylum.
This is a joke.
No, it isn't. I am officially asking you, Captain, to grant me asylum and give me protection from my enemies, which is him.
Why would a brilliant, handsome, dashingly omnipotent being like Q want to mate with a scrawny little bipedal specimen like me?
Let me guess. No one else in the universe will have you.
The Q and the Grey sees Q appear in Captain Janeway's quarters with the intention of making her the mother of his child. The reason for this, however, is that due to the fallout from the episode Death Wish, the Q continuum has now devolved into a civil war, and Q believes the only way to create peace is to bring new blood into the continuum. Janeway's refusal sees Q taking her into the continuum and right into the middle of the war.
Aim!
I'm sorry.
I know. Are you?
I know he's grown since you last saw him, Kathy. But don't tell me you can't see the family resemblance. This is my son. Q.
Skipping forward to Q2 in Season 7, we find Q seeking help from Janeway when his son, who should be bringing peace to the continuum, instead brings more chaos. So when Q dumps him on Voyager to spend time with his Aunt Kathy, things don't initially go well when he almost gets the crew killed.
just getting to the good part.
If the Continuum's told you once, they've told you 1,000 times. Don't provoke the Borg!
Q then strips his son of his powers and leaves him again, but this time Janeway sets him to work and teaches him about respect and responsibility in the hope she can change his ways so he can rejoin the Q.
Ichib is the only friend I've ever had. I brought him back here because I thought you could save him. Obviously, I was mistaken.
The only mistake you made was running away. You have the chance to do the right thing now. Don't waste it.
So that's all the episodes featuring Q. Thanks for watching, I'll see you again soon.